How's it going, everybody? This is Deadly. Welcome back to the channel for some more Escape from Tarkov patch .11. So, in yesterday's video, I uploaded my first few raids on Terragroup Labs for some of your enjoyment. I was a bit of a noob. I was stumbling around, had a couple beers in me because, it was Christmas Eve and things were pretty tense. I honestly was not expecting the scav raiders to be as difficult as they are, but I'm not mad at that. I'm actually quite happy with how difficult they are considering their reward. When you kill them, you get Gen 4 high mobilities, you get new Class 4 armor, new vests, new chest rigs, AK-104s, suppressed weapons. You get great loadouts, lots of grenades. One of the best ways to get grenades and medication now is killing scav raiders whenever you can, but they're not to be underestimated. And it also means that you are maybe, well, for now at least, until people really understand their pathing and how the actual raiders interact with their environment more, it seems that you are unable to run and gun as much as you can on other maps like Factory, Customs, and Woods. Now, I've probably played Terragroup Labs about 20 times so far, and I believe I've survived more than I've actually died. And the reasoning behind that is I've completely readapted my playstyle, and I started to slow things down a lot more, peek corners, and then also do the peek sidestep, which is something I haven't done that much before, which is using Alt, Q, or E to do a quick sidestep. The scav raiders, it really catches them off guard, and you can get an extra second of time to actually line up your shots, whereas if you do a slow peek, I find they can always catch you first. So I've been experimenting with different ways of attacking the AI, and also the re-peeking. If you engage scav raiders and you don't kill them and they have you dialed in, a re-peek is almost certain death at times, especially when they're close in. So if you're in a situation where you know you're compromised, trying to take cover or move to a different position is almost always what you have to do. Just sitting tight, you're just going to get hit with a grenade or a flashbang. They're going to rush you down and kill you. It's also important to note that all the scavengers that are using rifles are using armor-piercing rounds. So AK-74s, BPs, BTs, and the AK-104s, which is probably the most common scav raider weapon, which is an interesting choice because the AK-104 is probably one of the most underused weapons in the game. So it's cool to see the developers giving it, some life. Essentially, the AK-104 is a shorter AKM or AK-103. But they're using BP rounds as well. So if you're going to be running Class 3 face shields, you're going to be able to get shot through the head, no problem. And one of the things that I find really interesting but makes sense story-wise is that your insured gear is unable to be collected inside of Terragroup Labs because it is way too dangerous. So Pratpor and Therapists cannot get their scavengers into the map and then get your loot and leave. So if you go to the map and you play Terragroup Labs almost exclusively, like I'm sure a lot of you guys are, you don't have to waste your money on insurance because if you die, you're not getting anything back at all. Another thing that really sets Terragroup Labs apart from other maps in the game is the fact that every extraction point requires something unique to leave. So here's a couple examples. The ventilation system, you can only leave through that extraction if you have a backpack the size of an MBSS or less. So if you go with a tri-zip, attack 2, you're not going to be able to leave through that extraction point. The sewers is quite a bit of a distance away underground, so you have to travel to that location, and there's frequent scav raiders that hold choke points, preventing you from getting to there without putting up a fight or causing a distraction. Once you get to the sewers, you can just initiate the button, wait a few minutes for the water to drain, and leave. It's not an immediate extraction point. You can leave by reinitiating some generators in the basements to get the medical elevator or the cargo lift going again. And then, of course, you can open up the two large gates, the one in the cargo gate and then the parking garage, which attracts not only it makes a lot of noise, but also spawns geared scav raiders that come to your location and try to hunt you down. My favorite extraction point so far has to be the medical elevator because the generator is really close to the elevator itself. It's on the same level, just down the hallway. So you go there, start the elevator, go back, call the lift, and then once the doors open, it's a 3-second extraction and you're out of the raid. It does make some noise though, so scav raiders will come down and check it out once they hear that you initiated the call for the lift, but you can typically get into the elevator before any of them show up. Now, in this patch also brings new tasks that require you to collect new items from Terragroup Labs and do kill quests and missions across all of the different dealers in the game. There's a lot to cover, and I've been focusing most of my time on playing Terragroup Labs and just having fun with some of the new weapons. So I haven't actually explored pretty much any of the new missions, but that will be coming in a couple days. I always recommend that if you guys are stuck on any particular mission, just check out the Escape from Tarkov wiki. They are by far the most up-to-date resource for anything Escape from Tarkov related. I'm not paid to say that, I just love their website. And you know what, videos are great, but all the information is there almost immediately after a patch goes live. So if you're struggling and I haven't made a video, just go check out the wiki. I'm sure they have something about it. But speaking of missions, one mission that I've been having a lot of fun completing is the suppressed shotgun mission, where you have to kill scavengers and PMCs using a suppressed shotgun. They just added a new attachment for the MP153 on mechanic that allows you to put the hexagon suppressor on the gun. But of course, you could just do this with the Saiga with 10-round magazines on Terragroup Labs or Factory or whatever map you want to do this on. And I've been having a lot of success with the 10-round Saiga on Terragroup Labs, believe it or not. Scav raiders, I have been melting them with the Saiga whenever they're within about 20 yards, 20 meters away. They have been dying and dropping, especially leg meta works really well against the Scav raiders. So you don't always have to bring in a Val or an M4 or AK with armor piercing rounds to kill these guys. The Saiga 10 round has been doing really well, and it's made this mission exciting. So there will be highlights, man. There's been some amazing raids using the Saiga 10 round, and it's really made me rethink that weapon choice. Although I do concede that if you go up against another player point blank and they're using armor piercing rounds and you're using buckshot and you both see each other at the same time, the player with the AP rounds always wins unless they really suck, and that's kind of unlikely at this point. So there is a place for everything in the game, including the shotguns, but for killing Scav raiders, it's actually great, so give it a shot. Now with the new weapons, the HK416, the R700, the RPK16, we also have the ADAR, which is the Russian AR-15. Now what's really cool about this weapon is regular scavengers can use it, so you can finally get an M4 variant from killing regular scavengers on customs woods, you name it, wherever scavs are, they have a chance to have it. Now, a really cool tip is if you actually find one of these rifles, you can convert it quite easily into an M4 by going to mechanic and buying the M4 lower receiver for 23,000 rubles. It is the cheapest way to get your hands on an M4 actually. And instead of finding one, you could just buy an ADAR from Skier and then buy the lower receiver from mechanic and create an M4 that is cheaper than the one that you can purchase from the Peacekeeper. Now, I don't know how long this is going to remain. I'm sure that devs might change this or increase the price of the lower receiver, but I personally hope they don't, because I think it's a great way to get your hands on an M4. The ADAR, or the AR-15 in the game, you know, it's exactly what you expect it to be. It's a semi-automatic M4. So it's kind of like comparing an AKM to a Vepr, but you don't really get the best ammunition options right away, whereas with a Vepr, PS is a pretty good round from the start, so that's why it's considered one of the most reliable and consistently strong weapons for all level of players. The ADAR, I don't know. I really don't know if it fits that void. It's a cool gun nonetheless, and it really makes it look like a Dragunov M4, which is awesome in itself, but you know, I think it's just going to be a cool scavenger vanity item. And you know what? That's cool. Tarkov needs more of those in the game. Not every gun needs to be the best and used in the meta all the time. Now, I can't overshadow the fact that we have a brand new scav boss to the game, Killa on Interchange, but like Dealmaker on Customs, he has a 30% spawn chance. So I've been dumping all of my time into playing Terragroup Labs because it's just so awesome, and spending very little time trying to grind out Interchange for the chance that Killa will spawn. So I've only been able to actually kill him on offline mode. If you go to offline mode, you can actually enable scav bosses, so you can fight him 100% of the time. If you want to see the RPK or use some of his armor and equipment, then that is obviously the best way to do so. There is no guards for Killa, so once you kill him, you're good. Like, there's other scavs in the area, but he's not, in my opinion, as difficult as Dealmaker. Dealmaker with all the guards, especially how aimbody and broken those guards are in comparison to scav raiders. Scav raiders are amazing in comparison to the Dealmaker guards. if there's any work that needs to be done with the AI in Escape from Tarkov, it needs to be Dealmaker's guards first. They're the most broken and the worst I've ever encountered, in my opinion. They're almost always buggy. They're almost always broken. ESP, wall hacks, bullshit happens all the time with those guys. So I really, I'm very happy with the Scav Raiders in comparison to the Scav Guards. But anyway, so the Killaboss, I'm going to be getting to it, but Terragroup Labs is far more exciting in my opinion. The RPK, though, I am a little bit let down. You are unable to get that gun unless you barter for it from different traders. You're not able to actually buy it outright, like a stock RPK. I'm kind of let down, man. Come on, guys. Like, Escape from Tarkov, guys. Let's get that on Prep War, like Prep War level 4. Let's buy a stock RPK-16 and get a couple drum mags so people can actually start using that gun a little bit more and see how it stands up in the metagame. Now, the R700, that's going to just be an entire video in itself. And all these individual guns I'm going to be checking out and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions in separate, unique videos. The R700, though, I have used it a little bit, and it's as you expect. It's a 308 bolt action, magazine fed, but the suppressor, you can use the RSAS suppressor with it, and it sounds awesome. And is a really quiet sniper rifle, which might fit the role. Like, obviously you have the DVL Saboteur, which is an integrated suppressed barrel that makes it sound pretty cool and very quiet, but I think the R700 might be even quieter. I don't know. It seems that way anyway. And yeah, it's a cool gun nonetheless, but I think there needs to be a little bit of adjustments to its price in order to encourage players to use it more. But either way, guys, that's kind of my overall impressions on how patch 0.11 has gone so far. I would love to hear how it's going for you guys in the comment section below, and also subscribe here for some more videos covering patch 0.11, all the tasks, Terragroup Labs, Killa, the guns, and everything surrounding Escape from Tarkov. And I'll catch you guys during my live streams Monday through Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.